Now, as it says, you're currently the leader of the National Rally Championship. You've only really done 2 rounds of it, haven't you?
Yes, there's 4 rounds of the National New Zealand Rally Championship. We've completed 2, and after 2 we're winning. There's another 2 after the Motorguard Rally this weekend.
Now, does the track cover the whole of New Zealand, or is it just sort of round a forest area, or what is it?
The National Championship, they're going to have 3 in the North Island, and they've already had 1 in the South.
Down south,
in Blenheim, yes.
Right round New Zealand.
There's a bit of travelling to do.
There certainly is. Now, you've been driving for some years now, haven't you? How long has it been?
7 years I've been driving. We started off on the circuit, mainly Whittaker and other tracks throughout New Zealand, and then we chose to go rally driving.
Were you co-driving before you became a driver?
Yes, I co-drove with my father in 1973 when they had the rally throughout New Zealand, and got the urge and thought I'd get into it myself.
Now, do you have to be a co-driver before you're allowed to become a driver of a rally car, or doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't matter. Some people prefer to co-drive than drive, but I'd rather drive than co-drive, that's for sure.
You reckon you trust your driving more than you do your co-drivers?
I wouldn't trust my co-driver driving.
Who is your co-driver?
Whittaker. He's been with us for 5 years now. Mate I used to go to school with, and it works out real good.
Works out really well. Well, for the South Pacific Television, they ran a rally sprint at Woodhill Forest in North Auckland, and you actually came 4th in that, didn't you?
Yes.
Well, we've got a bit of film that we thought we'd like to show you, so let's go and have a look at John Woolf at the South Pacific Television rally sprint at Woodhill.
John Woolf, Mazda RX-3, 13B, developed to stage 3.
102 miles an hour.
John Woolf, very, very fast, 101 at the end of the straight. To the final bend, sprinting, just a little bit too wide there, 52.05, still a very fast time for John Woolf. He'll be happy with that and should put him through to the final.
Right, now, we've just been talking, and a rally sprint is actually different from an actual rally drive, okay?
Yes.
What's the difference?
It's a short version of a rally, really.
You've got a certain mileage to do, and
it's eliminations in each run, and every run they knock out so many cars, and at the end they come down to 2 cars and have a run-off, and usually they've got fairly good prize money, so it's a keen day.
Lots of fun, too. Now, I notice your car, most rally cars are escorts, aren't they? But yours isn't an escort, yours is a Mazda. Why is that? Is that just personal preference?
Yes, the escorts and that are works rally cars which are made up in the factory, so they're hard to get hold of.
That's your car there, isn't it?
Yes, plus it costs a lot of money too, and the Mazda was the cheapest car to build up in New Zealand.
Seems like a good idea then.
In New Zealand they suit the conditions too. I think they've won more championships than any other maker car in New Zealand.
Now those are actually little postcards that you give away, don't you?
Yes.
When people come down to see you drive.
If anyone wants to come up to us in the Motorguard next weekend, just come up and we'll give them a postcard if they want one.
It's really terrific. Now, talking about the Motorguard this weekend, who is actually starring in it? Like any big overseas guests coming over?
Yes, there's Ari Fatanian he's driving a Ford Escort. He was here in '77, and he's changed the body shape of the Escort quite a bit during the event. And there's Hannah McCullough, who's I'd say the top rally driver in the world at the moment.
And how do you think you'll judge up against them?
We're in a slightly lesser class, luckily, because I don't think we'd have any chance against them, but we're in a class and we hope to do well on that.
Right, what about going overseas for yourself? Are you hoping to go and race overseas at all?
Yes, I'd really like to get across there. Grant and I are working on it at the moment. Costs a lot of money, so you've got to save your pennies.
That's true. Well, you know, you sort of get a profession like this and that's how you've always wanted to do it since you're a little boy. Is this one of your dreams as well? You've always wanted to drive rallies?
Well, family's always been involved in motorsport with my father and that. And I think it just got the urge from when he was running, and ever since I've been...
Yeah, you've been there. Now, some of the safety aspects was really, really fast. You've got to really watch out on it, don't you? Because there's so many things that can go wrong just in split seconds.
Yes.
You wear safety gear, safety hat,
fireproof overalls, and you have a crash out, of course.
Well, thank you for coming along this afternoon. It's brilliant to have you, and good luck for Sunday.
Thank you.
Let's